Hi all, in this video I'll teach you the basics of Google BigQuery using a real public dataset. We will go from zero to useful. We will learn how to create a dataset, adding a public dataset, run some most common SQL commands, build aggregations and create views, and finally do a join across tables. I'll tell you when and why you have used each of the SQL commands in real life and not just the syntax. So if you go to your Google console, here you just have to type BigQuery. Here, before we make a start, you have to remember that you need to create a project. I've already created a project called BigQuery Tutorials. You have to make sure that you click on this new project function and you create a proper project for yourself. And also make sure if you are also using a free credit account that your billing is activated, otherwise nothing would work. Now, when you are here, you will be able to see your project name. We have to click on three dots, create dataset. Let's call this analytics_demo. You have to always make sure that the location should be same as that of the external dataset. So create dataset. Now every table and every view in BigQuery lives inside a dataset. Think of a dataset as a folder for your analytics. I am creating this analytics demo dataset and I'm choosing EU region because, as I told you, the public dataset that we will use, which is London bicycles, is also stored in EU. Matching region is super important. If your dataset is in US and your public dataset is in EU, some queries will fail. We don't want that to happen. Now we will see how you can explore the public data. So you have to go from this one to this explorer. You have to click on add data. You have to click on public data sets. Here you have to search for London bicycles. Oh, we got it. London bicycle hires. If you click on this one, view dataset, it will open up in a new tab. And now you should be able to see the dataset. I will move this structure back to its original form. You can see there are two tables, cycle hire and cycle stations. You can always view them. What are the fields inside them? And if you go to this side of the explorer, you can see you still have your BigQuery tutorials. Within this, you will be able to see analytics demo. So the public data set is queryable from anywhere outside. You cannot move the public data set into your own project. Now I want to see what can I do with my newly imported data set. So now I'm using this particular query, which is a select star query, which gives you a result. It helps you to show the first 10 rows. We can see bike ID, we can see start date, end date, all those things are there, which are related to how a person would rent a bike. Why we are using limit is because we want to have a quick peek at the data to see the column names, the data types, the sample rows before writing more complex queries. That is the whole purpose. If you remove limit, it will cost you a lot, which we don't want. Now, we will move on to a specific columns query, in which in select, we will pick up specific columns that we want to see. So I will again copy paste another query. Here you can take a screenshot of this and pull this query out if you want to. If I click on run, it will just show me three columns: bike ID, start station name, end station name, and duration. 4 columns to be correct. And this will pick up from BigQuery public dataset .londonbicycles.cycle hire. You can see it is not mentioning my particular project at all because this dataset lives outside your own project. So now we can see the top 10 results from this table. Now let me bring you to a where clause. Where is used to filter rows. It is very common in reporting. So things like filter by date, filter by customer, filter by status, all those things can be done using a where clause. So if I show you another amazing query, which is selecting specific columns, the 4 columns from the public data set where duration was more than 1200. So basically the duration for which the person took the bike was more than 1200 seconds, which is like around 20 minutes. And of course, we just want to see the 10 rows because here we are learning how to use different SQL queries and how they will react with public data sets. If I click on run, You can see you can get bike ID, durations are always more than 1200, and you can only see the 10 records. What was the start station name? What was the end station name? This teaches you how and where you can use the where clause. Now, we also have another clause called count star, which is basically to understand how many rows or how many users or how many orders were there. It is one of the most used aggregations in analytics. So let me show you a SQL query for counting the total number of writes. So if I select them and I click on run, you can see so many writes were there as part of this entire data set. What if I combine the count with the where clause? Now I'm saying count all the long rides, and of course I am presenting it as a long ride, but basically it is counting all the rides where duration is more than 1200. So if I click on run, you can see the lesser number of records are available for the duration more than 1200. Cool, I hope you're enjoying. Now we are moving on to query number 5, which is group by plus count. Group by helps you to roll up data like sales per product, visits per country, rides per station, the typical thing that you would love to see in a business metric. Especially for the people who are in the role of business analyst, this thing becomes super important. Now, if I try to explain you the query, so what this query will do is it will show us the top 10 start stations by the number of rides that were there from that station, because we are grouping by station start name. And this is the kind of thing which typically a city planner or operations team would love to see. So if I run this command, you can see these were the station names from which the maximum number of rides were taken up. Now, let me take you to query number 6, which is a group by and an order by on name. Sometimes we want the same metric but sorted alphabetically for drop-downs or reports. In that case, you can use this query. Here, the difference is that we are also doing order by, which will, as you will see, let me select the entire query and then run. It will order by name. So basically it will show all the A's, and since we have done a limit of 10, it will not go to any other alphabet. So same query, different sort, a small change, but it's very common to use this in day-to-day analytics. Now moving on to query number 7. So date-based aggregations, it is super important. Aggregations by date is used everywhere. Daily active users, if you want to get to daily revenue, the daily rides. This is basically where we will build a clean daily time series. Let me show you the SQL code for it. So if I run this, so now what we are doing is we are using start date to remove the time portion and group by days. The output is perfect for the charts and the dashboards. So you can see the total number of rides taken on a particular day. Now, after completing this, let's understand how to create a view. We will turn the last query into a view, which will be stored in your dataset analytics demo, which we created early on. The first view that I want to create is daily bike usage. Now, what is a view? View is a saved SQL query. Instead of copying this query into dashboards, other teams or other queries, we can save it once and reuse it. It also keeps your BigQuery project organized. Now to create a view, I will just copy paste this command, which is to create or replace a view. And also I need to change this to the exact number which I have projects, and I click on run. This has resulted in creation of that particular view. So if I want to go to the view, I can actually also see that view inside the analytics demo daily bike usage. Now this has become, if I click on the details, this will tell you the view ID that it has generated, what is the query that is running behind it. And if I go to table explorer, if I select this or I do copy to query and I run this, I can see all the rides for specific dates, the total number of rides that were there. So now this has created a view. What happens is, if you are together working in a project, if somebody has created a view, the other person will not have to do the entire steps again to run that query or copy it somewhere and then copy paste it every time they want to use. They can simply go to this particular view and they can run the query and get all the results which were saved. This is useful especially for analytics, some work that has to be done repeatedly. All those functionalities can use views in GCP. Now, the next thing that we will do and learn is we will understand how to use simple joins, and we will try to join and add station coordinates. So real data sets are usually split into multiple tables. That is why we use joins. So for example, some facts or events that happened and some dimensions, the lookup tables. So we use join to combine them. Here we will join the rights and the station locations. So if I copy paste this, now you can understand these are the three columns that I want to see. And you can see this particular table is named as H. That's why you want one column from H, which is the start station name. Then you're joining with another table, which is the second one, which is the stations one, and you're representing it as S. So S.latitude, S.longitude will pull up the columns from those tables, and you're again limiting it by 10, making sure you're ordering by total rights. Also, you're grouping by station name, latitude and longitude. So if I run this, you will get the data. So now we not only know which stations are the busiest, but we also have their latitude and longitude, which is perfect for plotting on a map. So in this single video, we covered a lot. We learned how to create a data set in the right region, adding and using a public data set, core SQL patterns like select, where, count, group by, order by, date-based aggregations, creating reusable views, and joining tables with join. These patterns basically cover 80 to 90% of the real world analytics work on BigQuery. In the next video, we will bring a new topic which will be super important and super interesting from BigQuery's perspective, and we will design more tables and do some analytics. If this was helpful, like, comment and subscribe so that you don't miss the next part.